And I wanted to do something special for my 100th video. Yay! I cannot believe I've made 100 of these. That's pretty freaking cool. It's Sonnie coming at you from my cozy kotatsu here in Japan, and today I have an Eleanor in my lap, not a penny. Last time it was a penny. I've been getting a lot of the same questions over and over again in my comments, so I thought I would make a Q&A video like this. See there? That was an Eleanor tail. So I thought I would make a Q&A video like this to answer those questions, and I can do this every once in a while. If you want your question to be featured, please comment below with it. Question number 1. What's your favorite food so far that you've tried in Japan? For a savory food, I hate to be predictable, but it's actually sushi. But it's a very weird sushi. We went to a conveyor belt style sushi place called Sushiro, and they had broiled salmon nigiri, which is where the rice is here and then it's just a strip of the raw fish on top. But this time it was broiled salmon on top, and then it had cheese and a basil sauce. And it sounded so weird to me that I had to try it.
Okay, so fish and cheese usually don't mix. Let's see how this goes. That's really good. That makes no sense. Why would that be so good?
Shockingly, it was completely delicious and I absolutely loved it, and every time we go there I get it now. My favorite dessert has got to be kakigori, and this was the first time I had ever had it was when I was in Japan, and it's like just so soft and perfectly shaved ice with these fruit juices, and it's just refreshing and delicious and wonderful. Question 2. How can I move to the UK? So a lot of you asked this when I was living in Scotland, and unfortunately it's a very complicated answer. The UK is pretty much the same as America when it comes to immigrants, especially in the fact that they don't really want any right now. All the current laws that are in place in the UK that have to do with immigration are most likely going to be changed very soon due to Brexit. Nothing is official yet. Nobody really has any idea of what is going to go on with the Brexit negotiations, so we just have to kind of wait and see. There used to be loopholes in the UK to maybe get your education and then you can stay, but they closed that. There was a lot of other little loopholes, but they closed pretty much all of those. Another YouTuber, Edinger, actually has a few videos on immigration in the UK and the different laws, and he's based in London, so I'll post a few of his videos in the description below. You can check those out. He goes into much greater detail than I can in a short video like this. Question 3. What do we do with our cats while we're traveling? Well, that really depends on the length of time that we're traveling for. For example, if it's just a weekend or a long weekend, we can kind of leave them for a couple of days on their own when they have plenty of food, water, and litter. We just put out some extra bowls. Cats are very independent, and that's why we have them instead of dogs at this point. We can also ask some of our friends to maybe pop over, check in on them, watch a movie while they cuddle, something like that. However, if it's going to be a longer trip, like when we backpacked Europe, we found international pet sitters on a website. I want to do a video that goes more in depth into international pet sitters, and especially the guys that took care of our babies, which we loved them, and it was a really wonderful, positive experience. I'll post a few of those style websites in the description box below. You post about your flat, your house, your animals, and the duration of time that you need somebody to look after them, with brief descriptions about any information that they should know. You don't include your address or any personal information or anything like that. And people who are interested in your location and your pets and your house will actually reach out to you and request to take care of your animals during that time. They do it completely for free because they get free housing when they're in that country. So for us, it was absolutely perfect. We would speak to a few people through the website, and then we ended up Skyping 2 couples and 1 American guy. And we picked these 2 guys that had been just going from house to house, pet sitting in different locations all around the world for about 6 months. And it was really cool. They were great guys, and they did a really wonderful job. They sent us pictures while we were away, and it just made us feel so much better. I think it's also really nice for the animals to be able to stay in their house, and then you don't really have to worry about theft or anything. There's just a ton of positives. So it was a win-win for everybody. Question 4. My partner and I would really like to visit Japan, but he hates the heat. Do you know if there's a better time of year to visit? Definitely. I would absolutely recommend coming to Japan in the autumn time. Fall is absolutely beautiful here. They have amazing colors on the trees, and the mountains are just beautiful. A ton of people come during the spring for the cherry blossoms, so I believe it's going to be much more crowded, but we haven't been here during that time yet. So that's also a possibility if you want to come during the springtime. Personally, I would definitely recommend coming during the autumn, maybe the spring. I wouldn't necessarily recommend coming to Japan during the incredible heat of the summer. Number 5, why did you move to Scotland? We moved to Scotland for me to get my Master's of Science. I really liked Edinburgh Napier University's program and felt pretty good about it. We had never been to Scotland before, and we had never been to Edinburgh before, and actually Joe had never left the country before. But I really couldn't afford to get my MSc in the States, and I really wanted to travel and get a global perspective on conservation efforts. It was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. I had also applied to universities in New Zealand because I've always wanted to live in New Zealand, but they were just as expensive as the US, so I couldn't really use that as an excuse. I also applied to some in Germany, Switzerland, and a couple other countries throughout Europe, but they had start dates in April rather than January, and I just really wanted to get started and I wanted to go, and luckily we both absolutely loved it. And my last question, question 6. What are you doing in Japan? We're teaching English. It's actually very easy to get a job teaching English in Japan right now. The government is really pushing for their students to learn English and for Japan to appear more global, especially with the Olympics coming up. You can teach English in many countries around Asia, South and Central America, and even throughout Europe and the Middle East. The level of experience that they want varies based off your location, but in Asia, you don't really have to have much experience at all. In places like the Middle East and Western Europe, you'll definitely have to have experience. I can do a video about what it takes to teach in another country, and specifically in Japan, if that's something that you're interested in. So comment below and let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know by hitting that like button. If I get over 150 likes, I'll know that you enjoyed it and I can make another one like this. If you have questions for me and would like to have them featured in a video like this, please comment with them below. And subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. See you soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Ooh, that looks like a cool video. You should totally watch that. Click that like button.